because Blabber and Sven definitely have the capabilities to carry. So don't give up too much ground elsewhere.
Yeah, I will note for Cloud9's sake that their bot lane seemed to be slightly winning with a pretty non-interactive lane overall. Now, the asterisk there is FBI and who he roamed mid for a kill, and that's gonna oftentimes sack a wave for that, but the actual 2-on-2 went pretty well on Cloud9's favor. The teams, of course, have switched sides. C9 with the loss have chosen blue side here for themselves. That's where they're going. You're seeing Galio and TF finally taking out the table. Demonte, unless he's playing mid-Nocturne, is gonna not be on a global champion. We'll have to rely only on Summoner Teleport for that. And that's been, I feel, a long time coming. Looking at overall stats for the player, 3 TF, kind of last game 2 Galio, and then 1 Orianna, 1 Akali. So he's going to be on something else this time around. Clearly had been very keen to play for the Globals and can't now.
I am suspicious of a Cloud9 comp with Blabber on Udyr. Blabber, I feel like, operates really well when you have either range or mobility on the carry champion to be able to make some outplays and aggressive plays. Udyr doesn't do a lot of outplay. He does a lot of brute force plays, and we're going to see that from Cloud9 here. So already, in game number 2 here, they're gonna change. They're gonna have a charge 4 styled. Now 100 Thieves, though, they have a lot of options because Udyr is a lot easier to control with kiting than any of the other champions that Blabber normally plays.
Yeah, well, Blabber is the XP at 10 difference leader of this entire match. Of all 10 players, he does really heavily out-farm his opposition. And Udyr is a champion that is good when just he has a stat lead, right? All he cares about is leveling up his basic abilities, getting rank 5 in Phoenix, and then at level 16, rank 6 in Phoenix. That's going to feel pretty good. We get the Seraphine and the Yone coming through. That's exciting. And again, I'm a big fan of Seraphine with walk-at-you melee champions. Bounce the ulti off of them. She gives haste to champions like Udyr and Yone who need it. Bounce the ult off them, make the engage happen. Like, this is the making of a good composition. I'm not sure yet if it's Sven or Vulcan playing the champion. I think she's good in both those roles, so wait to see what comes through. But I still kind of just want to see Fudge on a fighter, like a Renekton or something along those lines.
Yeah, well, too bad, because now you're going to have to face some days Renekton.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have, a winning matchup. You look for an even matchup in here at best. I expect 100 Thieves to, since they used last round of their first phase picks here on Renekton, ban out Gragas, maybe leave Aatrox up and ban out the Gnar instead. Take away those 2 main possible, champions here for Fudge to even feel comfortable on, and then work with the famed Renekton Nidalee. This is a go-to. 100 Thieves have used this so many times. You stun them up with W, spears land, enemy dies. Honestly, if the Gragas is not banned here, I think that would be a pretty big oversight for 100 Thieves. Meanwhile, Cloud9 trying to ban away supports on the other side, for possible lanes into Seraphine. I do expect them to go, either Misfortune or Ashe. It's a similar strategy to the Misfortune, where Misfortune's is better, in my opinion, at it because Make It Rain is instant, and you can just cast it as the Seraphine shoots out her projectiles. But the Ashe can also, land the first slow, so then Seraphine gets to snare for follow-ups as long as you land the volley. So we'll see for Cloud9 if they want to kind of combo with that Wombo. The other main focus here for C9 is trying to get some priority in their lanes for Udyr to work with so that he can actually power farm and so he can actually get to the Turbo Chem tank so he can get more speed for the guaranteed engages.
Now they ban away who he's set. You see 100 Thieves throwing some bans over at Fudge to get rid of those safer wave clear kinds of champions. And I think I like this a lot as well. You mentioned the Gragas being a possibility. Of course, Gragas can flex support, so you could do like the Gnar GP ban and then take support Gragas, and then you've actually gotten 3 top lane removals. But the Alistar remains the hover. Looks likely to be the lock-in. Still a fan of this one, right? You can ulti out of the Seraphine ult, so you can headbutt people away and kind of resuscitate your team for that. So it does, I think, fit the composition. Obviously, good setup for Kai'Sa as well. You have 2 crowd controls to get 2 plasma stacks when she goes all in, so it can be very scary dual lane as well. And now we get to see what the last 2 picks for Cloud9 are going to be, which have to be top and, what are the 2 bot roles?
Yeah, and he's actually taking away Vulcan's Alistar as well. Playing this, team fight. this guarantees, you already mentioned, Seraphine, very good with brute force compositions. Taric is also very good if you have something that can guarantee the engage. I think they need something now to guarantee, like a Hextech ultimatum, something to lock your opponents down, to force them to fight within a Taric ultimate. Because Udyr with the Turbo Chem Tank can run very quickly, but there is disengage. Okay, it's a solo lane then.
Udyr?
Solo lane Udyr, it's looking like, yes, you can solo lane Graves, but I would put more money on the Udyr for top side. He definitely can trade decently versus Renekton. We have not seen this matchup in a very, very, very long time, but Udyr can go Phoenix for wave control while he's trading with a Renekton. The difference, and since we haven't seen it in a long time, is can he actually take the stand, toe-to-toe trades with Renekton, try and use your turtle stance, healing back up off the waves. Remember, Renekton can break shields with a fully charged W, looking for a stun there, so be careful with your turtle stance.
I'm waiting for it to be top Graves, though. We got 5 seconds in the countdown. If they don't swap, it's top Graves.
All right.
Top Graves.
And he's going to keep it locked in here for Fudge. So the range advantage. All right, I guess we don't have to worry about the stat check then for Udyr Renekton top. You can try and pull that one out, but Graves obviously going to try and use the range advantage here. Nice little twist from Cloud at the end. And Freak, our question where we were thinking about, all right, are they going to put some confidence into Fudge? Are they going to, not back down on game 2 already of a best of 5 in their pick and ban phase? They don't. They do it with a twist. They give him the range advantage here versus Renekton. Let's see it now, Fudge, because there is definitely a lot riding on this. Your top priority is very important. If you're facing Renekton Nidalee, to try and break that definitely takes a lot.
I just wonder if it's even really killable. Like, is Udyr CC enough to kill Renekton when, minions block virtually all of Graves' damage? I'm not sure you get anything out of even going topside unless you're counter-ganking. And yeah, that can happen and that can work. But, to me, when you talk about things like Renekton Nidalee and how you play topside, it's because Renekton sets it up and then you secure the kill because you have a bunch of bursts and they're locked down. I don't see the easy way for this top side for Cloud9 to get anything done over there. On the other side, Seraphine Taric feels like some setup. Get a slow through the minions, Udyr chases down, Taric runs afterwards. That's enough damage to make that work. So it still feels like Cloud9 probably needs to play around mid or bot, and you're only ever counter-ganking for the top side. We'll see if it comes through, though. We are on to Summoner's Rift. It is a best of 5, the first of the season between Cloud9 and 100 Thieves. The winner of game 3, 4, or 5, whatever it takes, is going to go into the lock-in finals on Sunday, waiting for EG or TL. Ooh, chunk! Blabber takes a bunch of health bar down there. He'll be fine. He can recall if he has to, but right now it's 100 Thieves off on the good start. C9 played a kite back comp, but it did not work. So now Fudge brings in the top Graves for some extra pressure.
Freak, you say counter gank with such a lack of enthusiasm. My heart just dropped. And you're like, only counter ganking. But counter ganking is so important when you're facing a champion like Nidalee, because you can turn these around so effectively. And remember, top lane being the long lane, keeping your vision control of your side brush is way more difficult, the most difficult for any of the laners there. So there are a lot of opportunities for a champion like Udyr that does have to rely on just move speed to take opportunities of controlling the brush on the top side of the map, slipping in for lane ganks for brush ganks. Also, big focus for Udyr is always PvE, as everyone is well accustomed to now that it has actually become a premier pick in LCK and LPL. One of the most picked junglers actually for this last week for both of those leagues. Trying to power farm, trying to focus on the dragon control, trying to focus on your Rift Heralds. You don't have to score a kill to be able to have a successful top lane gank as well, by the way. You can just work with your Graves, either counter ganking or showing so that he shoves the wave with full priority versus a Renekton. And it's very easy for a Graves to do, to control that wave with the range advantage, with the AoE advantage, and transition it into Rift Herald. You earn money very, very effectively like that, just taking that top side control, because you don't have to call bottom side rotation over for it.
Nice little bit of damage there. Nice Q auto. Good chunk into Huhi, and you can't go for Heavy Pulverize there. You're too close to the turret. So safe enough there as Blabber keeps the farm going on the bottom side. Did go for a point in bear stance at 3, I do believe. I might have missed that one. Regardless, either way, yeah, doing the hard farm stuff as you expect. Fudge, of course, shoving around the top side. Nidalee will be top side soon, has to be careful. This wave's going to need to bounce. I believe it was known that Closer started on blue buff, so Fudge will have to be careful because this is gankable very, very soon. And if Closer wanted to go for a greedier clear, right, if he wanted to skip Wolves and take red, he could already be ganking.
I would be very, very surprised if Blabber went for a point in bear stance because you can power clear your entire jungle and get to level 4 before Scuttle Crabs even spawn with this champion. And then you use your level 4 to get the bear stance. Rank 2 Phoenix really, really, really improves your clear. Harry hits level 4. Scuttle Crab is not even spawned, so he's going for the bot gank first.
He is a bear. He's running fast. He's going to get headbutted backwards, but a chain stun comes through to Alistar, and Phase Rush Alley is not tanky. The easiest gank of your life, and I'm curious how 100 Thieves never even warded it.
First blood for Udyr, baby. Let's go. Old player, Season 1 champion gets in there. Blabber with the speed of the clear. Again, you Tiger stands for your attack speed. Switch over to Phoenix.
They're going.
He's going for another dive.
They're going on to Demonte. Perk takes aggro. The flashback for Blabber. This is going to be a lot of damage. He's got a red buff on. He's got phase rush on. He's going to get that kill. And already he's off to the races. Blabber's 2-0 on Udyr.
He's also making good use of the phase rush, by the way, and the gank on Huhi. He uses the speed. You'll get out of the knock-up range of the Q, get right back in on it, ensuring this kill. Blabber is not going down without a fight, Freak. 2-0 for the Udyr already, and when a champion like this gets a lead in the jungle, now you lose all PvE control. Yes, Nidalee does not have to fight the Udyr. You can always run, but if you're always running, giving up camps, giving up territory, giving up vision on the map, then that's where the objectives start to roll in for Cloud9. So 2 very important early kills here for Blabber. Remember, he does not have a flash, so using your bear stance speed to be able to dodge spears and stuff is going to be important. Oh my God!
Closer.
You cannot do that. That's why you pick these champions, Freak.
He's just dead if you don't miss.
Okay, well, he might still be dead.
I think Fudge is an acquired taste of this one. This time he dodges the javelin, but no, they don't have the damage. They don't have the damage. Now Perks is here. Gonna look for a bit of knockup, can't find it all, and Fudge will live to fight yet another day.
So, Freak.
Yeah.
Sometimes people also would ask me, why do you play Udyr so much? You know, throughout the years, I play it every single season. You can't miss skill shots on Udyr either. So it's very easy to pull off your mechanics on the champion. Meanwhile, it was also previously thought that you can't miss spears on stun targets, but
you can.
Yeah, you can. Honestly, it's slightly missed on timing there. Thought maybe he thought it was you could come out of it, or just simply misplaced it. But that is going to cost them. You know, 100 Thieves expend their resources top side, attempt the dive as well. Teleport from Perks comes in to defend this time. And this is all going the other way. Game number 1, 100 Thieves. Very clear game plan coming in. Good champ select to go for the engages, and they pulled them off all game long. This time around, though, Cloud9 wastes no time in striking back.
And they've swapped the lanes around. Apparently, Top felt... I mean, it's weird to say Top felt Doom because Someday has twice the CS of Fudge, but I think just based on how things were going, they're like, you know what? Let's put Rise up here. He'll feel comfortable. We've got another dive coming in. Hey, look, it's round 3 for Fudge. Someday's back. Someday's level 6. Blabber's here every time. The counter gank is in, so you don't get to kill Fudge. I will kill your ward instead, but can we get any minion XP? Not really yet, no.
I think I counted 3 melees so far. This might be number 4. They do get into experience range. Perks with the rotation over does alleviate the pressure. And even with another attempt here for 100 Thieves, continue to try on that top focus, that Nidalee Renekton trying to build on their draft. It is keeping Fudge down in CS. And he is losing in CS here with the early visits towards the Graves. But as you say, unsuccessful in scoring the kill.
True. So Blabber going to feel pretty comfortable pushing on towards 7. Now, it has been an equal camp count for both junglers. Closer has farmed equally to Blabber, and to be fair, Closer has ganked the same number of times as Blabber. They just haven't turned into kills. So they've been as active, just One's been more successful, and you can see the 600 gold lead to Cloud9 as the result from that one. Graves from behind, though, is barely a champion. Plenty physical damage, but he's against steel caps already from the Renekton when they match up again down the line. And, you know, doesn't have much utility to speak of. You can temporarily blind the Rise, that's not too bad, but not that useful. The flash stun comes in, this Javelin going to land. This time they will have the combo, and they will knock down Fudge, who is still, I believe, only level 5, still didn't have the ult to get away.
All right, redemption there for Closer. Lands this one, someday expanding his flash to make sure it happens. Now can you transition your mid lane pressure? It looks like Dragon will be taken up as the reward for that kill as well. 100 Thieves popping right back up. Still, my eyes are on Blabber, though, and he's going to continue power clearing through the bottom side. Unfortunate for him, you know, with the mid lane losing pressure like this, and with the rotation from 100 Thieves, I thought it was a really good swap to keep Renekton mid, keep Someday mid, and try and continue to focus on Fudge there. Now they're swapping it back again. Perks is going up to top side. Fudge, being so far down, being so vulnerable, doesn't want the long lane anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. You're going to get run down a whole lot. Fudge, though, level 6. Yeah, a little bit more space to move with his 2 short dashes, one with the E, one with the R. Perk going to be happily taking this lane. The difficulty, of course, is it's a physical damage top and mid laner, so Someday steel caps work in both matchups and should feel fairly comfy. That said, items are not that far apart between the two, and Perks temporarily has a level lead, so Someday is playing it a bit more defensively, as his ward coverage isn't outstanding. And Jungler's still pretty close in farm. Blabber going to start now for top Scuttle, who he right on time, though, spots this, and he's actually getting a bit surrounded. Everyone is on this side of the map. Really for both teams. Fudge can be there in a minute. Blabber's still feeling comfortable. Here comes the re-engage. The flash combo comes in. A flash away from Blabber keeps him alive. A big stun comes through. Re-engage comes across. A big charm. Doesn't mean any kills, though. FBI going to walk back pretty safely. Several ults burn, 2 on the sides of Cloud9. Now the re-engage comes in. Perks wants in. Can't get much more. Javelin. Rise brings the squad. Perks is the flash, but they might find it anyway. Flash in for the root. Do they have the execute? It's going to be close, and it's going to be Closer getting the kill. Nice pickup right there. Rift Herald still alive. A 1-4-1 as who he dropped as well. 4v4 on the map. Cloud9 not going to get back in. They are missing every single ultimate they have, as Tarek isn't even level 6 just yet. 100 Thieves still have some days, and they have a lot of time to push down top side. But first, they're going to answer Rift Herald. Still a close battle here. Rise is recalled. Demonte cannot TP back in. But Alistair is back on the map. They're going to find a route, but it's not going to be an easy target. Some days take his member on the team. Once again, going for this one. Closer can go for the smite. Going to be picked up there by Blabber. That's nicely done. Team fight may continue. Alistair and Yone on the way back in. Rise going to be slow to this one. FBI could be stunned. Someday finds when they get a route on a Closer. He's going to have to flash away. But now who he is here. They've baited in the squad. They get the double knockup. They're going to find Blabber. He gets the shield, gets to run away. Fudge a bit low, gets the shield though, stays alive, and Blabber will finally be shut down. 3-3 on kills. Long form, a 2 for 100 Thieves, but Herald was picked up by Cloud9.
Yeah, that's an eventual overchase here from Cloud9. They're not able to burst anyone down, lacking the extra damage there from Perks, and so they do run straight head first into Huhi, but they did also get the Rift Herald reward, and there's plenty of time to use it on turret plates, so they do come out with some more cash in hand. I have to say, after the reset, though, this is going to be very interesting how Fudge tries to scrape his way through the rest of the game. Now even more so, only 58 CS for his name. It's going to be quite a long time before he's a threat.
And it's also going to be a fairly low magic damage composition. We may still see Lichbane come through for Blabber second to add some magic profile, but it looks like we're having another Bandle Glass Mirror for Sven, right? He's going for the Healy build on Seraphine, no Leandries, so you know, this team comp is fairly physical heavy. Like, yes, Blabber does magic, yes, Sven does magic, but the quantities are fairly low. This is probably like a 2-to-1 physical skew. I'm going to guess at the end of the game here for Cloud9, it means 100 Thieves can itemize towards armor. It makes Zhonya's on Closer better. It means Zhonya's on Demonte's better. He could have even gone armor routes if he really wanted to, and it probably would have been okay. We've already seen Someday make that choice, and it will lower Cloud9's overall damage profile.
Definitely going to be something to consider. Still have to worry, too. Can they defend that top side turret? We'll take a look at the minimap after we get back to live. This was the setup, and they actually hold on for a very long time I thought the Seraphine follow-up was going to be on FBI, but Sven actually used it on Huhi there, so they didn't get the initiation immediately. Perks going in deep, does make him vulnerable, but if you look at the bottom of the screen, that allowed Cloud9 to pick up the kill onto Huhi, and also made Damonte take a lot of damage in diving that tower to finish off the kill onto Perkz since he flashed so deep into it, which led to that extended fight over the Rift Herald. I believe we're going to see just the reset into part 2 there. But the Rift Herald is still in hand for Blabber right now, and they've got a minute and a half to make use of it. Trying to make a power play first.
Oh no, that flash is not going to help. Huhi gets the easy headbutt, gets to wait, gets to pull for us when he needs to. They're going to knock this one down, probably. FBI took aggro, but he's going to live. He auto too early, closes that one hit. Can Perkz find it? Perkz does not have an ultimate. He does not have any other ways in. He lands the Q knock-up. Will not get hit with the javelin on the way out either, but still tries for damage to Huhi. Headbutt means it's not going to be anything anymore, but still a great dive. 100 Thieves grab another kill. 4-3 on the scoreboard. 1,500 gold lead.
And now Seraphine's even more vulnerable, no flash left on him. Dragon's about to spawn, though. Can they take advantage? Because the death timers are so short, he's going to be respawn, and someday teleports in for the flank.
Headbutt, pulverized. Terrigal going to buy a lot of time, but the health bar still at 500. They disengage, they wait in the cooldowns. Perkz so low, and he will always drop. And now Vulcan's going to be targeted as well. Has to flash to the wall to stay alive. Herald summoned in the mid lane as there's only 30 seconds till plates will drop, so you can't wait for much more. They're going to shove in mid lane. They'll get 300 gold for the work of the Herald, but the other kills have been worth so much more for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and they're also going to get some gold on top side since they're committing Fudge. He has no teleport, so he's mining turret plates while this dragon goes down. Regardless of the gold going back to Cloud9 right now, in response, 100 Thieves come up with the big power play, intelligent use of their teleports offensively to pick up these kills and be able to transition into the objectives afterwards, because even though Fudge does get a bit of money back on top side, the Graves still very inadequate in this game, and Damonte was able to get off turret plate on bottom side anyway with the Rise.
Look again at the game state. It still is 1,500 the gold difference. Plates have dropped, so these turrets are now made of paper mache. And you can see Someday chunking away. 150 bonus gold for knocking down the first turret of the game, and it looks to be 100 Thieves grabbing that one. Last game, he was clapping top lane. He won AP Gragas into Lulu, and it wasn't pretty. Even after a botched dive. Got a solo kill into the turret. Looked great. Here into game 2, they grab him Renekton. Fudge counterpicks with Graves. Closer botches the gank with a javelin. It still doesn't go to over 100 Thieves, and yet again he is absurdly ahead of his lane opponent. 130 CS, first turret, Someday's gigantic again.
And I also need to emphasize how the team's being set up with the Taric and the Seraphine on Cloud9. Once again, they're going to rely, on those team fight abilities for later on. So that's why it's so important, why I emphasize for 100 Thieves, forcing this aggressive play on Dragon number 3, teleporting both solo laners in to make sure they get these kills and get Dragon number 2 stacked up for them. So that for Dragon number 3, they're going to have this big gold lead to work with so that Cloud9 don't get to set up first. They have the 2 dragons stacking already, and they're going to try and make use of the Huhi flank. Once again, he's going to be front and center for this team. Alistar trying to force, because the Seraphine and Taric combination does provide you very, very good grouped up team fighting. If your opponents are stuck fighting during the duration of the Taric ultimate, but because of the last pick of the Graves coming in for Cloud9, they didn't get that last little tool we were kind of looking for in Champ Select Freak for them to actually have something to lock in 100 Thieves and force them into that fight. So I think there is quite a bit of control for 100 Thieves here with their team setup. Rise ultimate, possible flanks from Huhi, and FBI being ready here on Kai'Sa to go in for the execute. They are going to have to be wary, though. Just don't funnel into a Seraphine ultimate. Do not fight within the Taric ultimate. You should have enough to disengage.
I do think Perkz can be the one to pull the trigger. I think Yone Ultimate is very good for this, and the setup's long enough that you can get the Seraphine follow-up no problem, so I think he'll be a big player to watch. But the problem is, it's one thing that happened in the previous game as well, is who answers the side lanes. Right now you actually see it's Blabber at least backfield down there, but Perkz is the only champion who can 1v1 anyone on 100 Thieves. No other champs, aside from, again, the jungler and Blabber, who's pretty big, is equipped to do this. Fudge can't do it aside from wave clear, and Sven certainly can't by himself. So, how can Perkz answer Someday split pushing while then also being the primary engage for the team? It's going to be very tough. It's a lot on him to be the playmaker here, and it's not like he's even very big, right? He's 0-2. He's down CS against either solo laner. It's not a good look.
Yeah, the play would have to come from a Blabber on Udyr coming over and using Turbo Chem Tank with Bear Stance to try and chase down one of the more powerful solo laners on the side of 100 Thieves to get, a numbers advantage, get that 2v1, because Udyr definitely can trace you down. If Turbo Chem Tank is enough to get to you and he can proc the phase rush, then that will be a kill for Cloud9. But Ryze and Renekton right now, as you're saying, in such strong spots for 100 Thieves that they're going to have control of the minion waves and should be able to use their flashes to make sure that doesn't happen in at least the first pass from Cloud9.
And gold lead grows to over 3,000 now. Turrets slow to drop right now. 100 Thieves playing mostly around efficient minion waves. Mythic finally comes through for Fudge. He's got a shield bow now, so a bit more durability there. Everyone but Taric has one on the Cloud9 side. Do you want to point out we are at 11.2, where the tank mythics that aren't Sunfire Aegis got a lot cheaper. They're pretty much support item costs as far as I can tell, so they're very cheap power spikes to get to. We're probably going to see Huhi go for his own chem tank as a result of that one. It's barely more expensive than the newly rebuilt Shirelia's. It also means that Blabber's first purchase was a lot cheaper than the Night Harvester of Closers, so like his spikes are coming sooner as a result. Right now, mid lane turret's going to be falling. It'll drop to like 5 health, and then one auto will kill it. There's the pickup, pretty easy for FBI. Gets his share of the local gold, and look, the Dragon's coming from 15, and 100 Thieves are there first, and Cloud9 has to walk through mid to get there.
All right, Freak, keep your eyes on Huhi. He has been so good for 100 Thieves, finding flanks, positioning himself deep in some of the brush in enemy territory. He's just front and center one again.
Okay, goes in on a Blabber. Pretty good route there, a lot of damage. There goes Seraphine to the top. That's a two-man charm. That could be the play. Taric goes in as well. Damonte flashes to safety, but now Blabber's invulnerable. Goes in for the dive. A stopwatch keeps Damonte safe. In comes the backline. Yone, but can't get enough to kill him. Damonte's so low. The Gravesult was almost the follow-through. It felt like Cloud9 weren't quite coordinated on the play. The charm came through, but they didn't quite dive in. And just barely, Damonte slinks away with his life, and he's getting healed back up. Closer is throwing in those E cooldowns, and it's going to do enough. Here goes Perks again, can't find it, but at least Cloud9 are in the ocean. They're looking for the fight, looking to battle this one out, and now they're going to play around the TP. Can they somehow burst Damonte? They're going to find some slows, but he gets the root off on a Blabber and just hightails it out of there. Thank you, Phase Rush, but they're going to try to chase him down. However, 100 Thieves are on the chase as well. Blabber will find a stun. He will find some damage. Yone's here as well. They will shut down one. How about the re-engage 5-on-4? They'll send Nidalee to just go for this easy dragon pickup, but there's no other objective to grab for Cloud9. This will be sole point for 100 Thieves, and Cloud9 spent so much for a single kill.
Yeah, and look, you see by the minimap, they're trying to rotate up to continue on a power play on top side, but already 100 Thieves moving up someday too, so Cloud9 call off on it. They just get the kill onto Damonte after the chase. But the point is, you do see the effect of Seraphine and Taric and the power that could possibly be there. If you funnel in, you get two people charmed up by Seraphine ultimate, try and chase them down with that Taric ulti. 100 Thieves keeping their in-game shot calling clear, though, and making an immediate retreat call. They immediately tried to get out of that jungle, not fight with those double supports power within that red quadrant, and they kited long enough that they get the important prize. Even though Damonte loses his life, they were able to get the dragon by his long chase with the phase rush up to the top. Udyr will chase you to the ends of the earth, Freak, even though it looks like, oh my god, phase rush, he's out! He's free! With the flash, Blabber does not give up on it, and they make the kill complete. They chase so far, obviously, up to the top side that you're giving up the dragon, though. 100 Thieves now set up for Dragon Soul. They've got just what they want. They've got priority on the map. With the gold lead and dragon stacking, they can continue to just hoard vision around this red quadrant of Cloud9's jungle so that they don't get to choose the fighting spot. They don't get to choose the battlefield for Taric Seraphine. They don't get to have ideal double support AoE.
Someday going for the big dueling build, though. Blade of the Ruin King picked up just now. He's going to feel really comfy against this Yone. Shouldn't be much of a problem. Damonte comfortable in the bottom lane. No one's even below the mid lane to answer him. This is a freely picked up turret. He will get the wave. He will shove this one in. No one is willing to answer him. Again, only one champion is able to 1v1, and that guy's up top side. He's named Perks. He's playing Yone, and even then, he's not as good against Someday. Here comes the attempt. This is a very nicely placed ward. It's going to spot them walk into the pit, but Cloud9 are going to try to set up this Baron play. It's going to be tough. They'll do what they can. 100 Thieves are coming over, though. Damonte cannot TP in. He's got to walk the same for Someday, but he's close by. Still whittling it down. The shields are pretty big, but be careful. That Javelin puts Perks at half HP. shields and heals put him back up, and when does the re-engage happen? They're sitting around looking for the play. They can't find it just yet, but hoping they can make 100 Thieves funnel in for the big ulti combo. Summoners are up pretty much across the board. Ultimate's the same. 5,000 health left on Baron. You can see they're not taking that much damage. Blabber is pretty safe. Javelin lands 4,000 onto Baron, and here comes the play. They're going to find a stun on a Huhi. He's going to burn the ulti. Here comes the hard engage as they've all turned invulnerable, but Huhi burns a flash for the Terricle. That's a great trade because one means a lot more than the other. Sure, the cooldowns are different, but it's an easy disengage, and Cloud9 get nothing.
Well, you see the idea here for Cloud9. Ooh, Perkz goes deep with it.
Seraphine Wen, here comes the play. They're going to get the pick off. That was nicely done. That's the setup they're looking for. Yone goes first, and everyone else follows through. Vulcan easily gets the stun. Seraphine gets the follow-up. There's the picks they're looking for.
Yep, they're able to punish Damonte. He still does not have flash from the previous chase down that they did. Again, it results in only the first kill, but the idea is sound for Cloud9, Freak. Grouping up on Baron is their only way to force 100 Thieves to come to them. If not, they slowly bleed out to Ryze and Renekton split push. You continue to lose gold, you continue to lose ground to 100 Thieves, and guess what? When the timer for Dragon comes up, your priority really evaporates because 100 Thieves have this very high priority, high value target for them that does not give you a lot of rewards, even if you're able to gain control of the area. So C9 doing the right thing, trying to group up on the Baron, force 100 Thieves to come to them and fight, charge into the Taric Seraphine. In this time, as you said, they use everything to escape during the Taric ultimate. Flash used by Huhi, they kite to 3 different areas, and once again, they do evade the Cloud9 team fight in that invulnerability. And it's only by the persistence of Perkz, ulting forward with Yone just for positioning for Taric ultimate. Even with the tip of the Yone ultimate not hitting, the Taric stun is enough to allow them that kill and buy some breathing room. Maybe this tower going down will allow them a little bit of room to work with for their wards, but they're going to run into this problem once the Dragon does spawn. 37 seconds on the clock and counting.
Okay, you can see Someday holding the front. Blabber gonna, okay, Zen took a skill shot. Just, amping FPI's damage numbers a little bit. Perkz wants to go back in. Again, the ult combo could be there. Is he gonna look for it? Does have the ulti. They don't pull the trigger. They are missing one ultimate. They're missing Terix, and that's enough to not go for the play. Maybe position could have been scary as well. Damonte still holding onto Summoner TP. They did not bait that one out of him, but this fight has to happen. Ocean Soul in 10 seconds, 100 Thieves can just fork this now. They can just run at Baron. It's an objective that Cloud9 can't give up on either side. And you can see, yep, there's the Ryze ult. There's the play for Baron. They're going to try to burn this one down in full vision. They don't care. And you can see Cloud9 are not going to answer. They said, you know what? You got us. You made the play. We get to take an Ocean Drake, get to deny the soul for a little bit longer. However, 100 Thieves get a very clean Baron pickup.
Exactly. It's the value afforded to you by having Ocean Soul on the table. It means so much for your team and so little for Cloud9 that you can throw this one away. You can get Baron in exchange, for just the 5-minute denial timer here as Cloud9 commit to it. And now with the Baron, your 1-3-1 is further empowered. You only have to avoid these pickoffs. So first step here for 100 Thieves, start tracking Blabber, get your vision a little bit safer, a little bit deeper first. Someday actually walks right into him with the team fairly far away, and with a very big confidence play, goes for the trade, allowing the rest of 100 Thieves with their Barons to move up and keep the pressure. He stole it with the spear. Are you kidding me, Freak?
And Blabber tried to tank it. You saw, Blabber walked up into the right to try to get in front of the Javelin, but it went around him anyway. Ooh, big damage. Flash in case of a Seraphine combo. I think that makes actually sense to go for, but either way, you can still see Cloud9 are bleeding out. Red Bull Baron, of course, 400 Thieves looking to close out game 2 as well. The gold difference still stays about 3.8 thousand. Not insurmountable, but it's still very 100 Thieves favored as Blabber cannot wave clear well. He will take some decent damage, but minions will block most skill shots. Get some support now as well. The turret still falls. 4-1 in turrets. Hard engage for who? He gets right back out there with Phase Rush. No ulti burn for him. Just a bit of damage, but it's not going to mean much. Obviously, plenty of healing and shielding on the Cloud9 side.
Yeah, plenty of healing and shielding. Not great damage, though. Again, Fudge still kind of struggling. You mentioned the shield bow early on. He hasn't even gotten to the second item completed yet. So far behind as they've lost control of the map. And 100 Thieves feel like they just have full priority here. He is constantly looking for these angles. They just push up the minion waves with the Baron, waiting for someday to get another outer turret worth of gold here. Damonte going to teleport them right back over, so they guarantee it.
And that's going to be a pretty easy turret take. Nice little knock up there. Stun comes through for Tarek as well. Perks says, I'll wait a little bit longer, and then burn the snap back. But they found a stun to Damonte. That's some decent damage. He's going to flash away. Huhi buys some time. Here comes Seraphine over the top. It's a double charm. Closer going to come right back in. Zonia's for Huhi buys some time. He's got flash, but he doesn't have a good way out, and he will be knocked down. 1 for 0. Cloud9 team fight power is strong. Yone and Tarek ult are still up for the big plays. Despite the gold deficit, you can still see the power of the 5-on-5 for Cloud9.
Exactly. That's why we keep talking about the double supports. And you look at how Vulcan is holding his Tarek ultimate. He doesn't immediately use it, and 100 Thieves already trying to disengage because they know the possibility of it coming means they could not commit to that. So when Huhi goes in trying to sacrifice for Damonte there, but Damonte also flashes out on the rise, it is a sacrifice without drawing that cooldown and allows Cloud9 to retain and try and fight 100 Thieves off of their own territory, get that control of their side of the map. Now it is the 3 support item power spike for Seraphine for Sven. It does come a little bit later, but you've got huge, huge buffs for your team with both Staff of Flowing Water as well as the Ardent Sensor, and everybody gets to benefit from that. You know, Udyr loves attack speed as well as AP, so it's kind of an all-around champ. You can scale with any of those things. So it definitely helps out for all of the carries. We'll see if it can actually push them over the edge. Level 16 now on perks, going to be the big main carry. Yes, Fudge definitely lagging far behind, but at least he got his second item here. Bloodthirster is in for the extra shield.
Yep, and the durability, you know, as long as it's enough, you can sit there and you can get some damage in. And for the most part, unless you're going to buy lethality, raw AD is the only offensive stat Graves cares about anyway. So, you know, BT and, you know, something like, not that you'd buy Infinity at second, but, you know, they're not going to be that far apart regardless. Yep, Perk's going to go for the play. Can they get the knock on the Damonte? Sidesteps it, nicely done, gets away in time. Good sidesteps, good jukes, out he goes.
And it's really critical, the timing, too. You see Cloud9 are going for that 40 seconds on the clock because they know if they commit hard to this, get that pick before the dragon, they could put it off again.
But he's going to be shielded a bunch, right? They cannot easily go for this dive. They can't commit that much to the damage output. Even if FBI could free hit, he wouldn't knock him down in time. There's even a locket done for the Tarek right now. Chem Tank finally done for Huhi there as well. So an extra engage. Dual Perks wants to go in again. This time, again, no ultimate. Does not have an easy way in. And with the snapback, can't do much more anyway. They wouldn't have the follow-through damage. Perks is the primary damage on the team. Now Blabber once again walks in. Fudge nearby. They know again, Ocean Solo is a possibility. We're 4 seconds away from that one spawning. Blabber walks in, goes for a stun, and now here comes the engage. Huhi knocks up 3. Tarek burns the ulti though. Wins the re-engage and beautifully kited out. The dive comes in and just burns the Tarek ult, and now the re-engage can come in. They dive once again, and Fudge just instantly melts, and it's going to be Blabber running away. It's a second kill, looking for a third. Blabber's running for his life. FBI with the auto, gets the triple. 100 Thieves win another team fight. Huhi baited out all the cooldowns, and the follow-up was easy.
Huhi is so good, man. You see the coordination with the team. They're not done yet.
Flash stun. Someday gets the entire health bar basically by himself. Damonte just adds 1 to the scoreboard because he wanted to see it happen. They're going to tank to make sure that minion stays alive. The turrets are going to fall. 100 Thieves likely to close out game 2. We got some signs of life. We got a much better look from Cloud9 in this game, but 100 Thieves look so much better today. The ace comes in at the last second. 100 Thieves, you can see a lot coming through from FBI. Sven tried to carry even on the Seraphine, but nothing out of Perks, nothing anywhere else. The Bud Light ace comes through. 100 Thieves gonna take game 2 over Cloud9.
I have to say, too, the Alistar phase rush allowing Huhi to go for these engage, get the Tarek ultimate out to start channeling, and then peace. So they just are easily able to kite every time this Tarek ultimate. And the last piece we were looking for, Freak, in the draft of something to lock their opponents in, to force them to fighting within this Tarek ultimate was not there. Plus, they got a weak Graves for it. So that as the last pick, when we were really putting so much emphasis on that last pick and the possibilities of, okay, what's going to bring this together, this team fight, that was certainly not it. And this has huge ramifications moving forward for the pick and ban phase. Now you've kind of shown all of your cards for Cloud9 for top lane. And what is the look going to be now? You have to kind of scramble and go back to the Gragas that you had for the TSM match. I guess that's probably the only only option. It brings something for the team, brings some playmaking, and you try and transition from that.
Yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, they looked for a matchup that could handle Someday in the top side. They said, okay, you see Renekton, we're going to give you counterpick with pretty much the entire drafts locked in. You know jungle top, and it wasn't enough for Fudge. And that's been a problem, that Cloud9 cannot answer all the side lane plays. I think there were glimmers of a really good comp, but you mentioned the fact that they couldn't force fights as easily. That relying on just Yone ultimate, I think, yeah, probably isn't enough. So certainly, well done play on 100 Thieves, though. Still the better team overall. They're on match point, right? They're 2-0. The best of 5 is almost done if they can close it out. They got 3 shots to do it. Or we get the Cloud9 reverse sweep. We'll see if that can happen. But right now, we're going to take a break. On the other side, we will hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk, so we'll see you soon.